All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode. Today is Saturday. It's the weekend. I hope you guys are having a good one so far. And I truly mean that, because if you're not expressing yourself on the weekend, then when are you going to express yourself? If you're a person like I am and you're working a 9-to-5 job, then it's kind of hard, isn't it? To go ahead and express yourself fully during the weekdays. Now, if you're in an office or if you're working a 9-to-5, that's 8-9 hours of your day where you are timid, where you are kept in. You need to let that lion out of the cage. Rawr, rawr. That sounds like more like a cat, but you get the gist of it. All right, yeah, so I hope everybody's doing well. Today, I wanted to start off with a quote by Winston Churchill. It says that success consists of going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. That's by Winston Churchill. And I wanted to share this quote because I feel that is very, very important, that persistence is one of the most important attributes that one should develop in life. Persistence, perseverance, pushing through the difficult times, because difficult times are going to come regardless. This is life. Nobody gets an easy way out. Not even people who are rich, really rich. It's crazy because some of the most richest people are some of the most saddest people. And you would think that money would solve everybody's problems, but nah, man, that's just not the case. Life is a beast. Beast. Life's a little beast. Beastie. Beast. If you know what I'm getting. If you know what I'm getting at. And if you're not prepared, if you don't have the perseverance to push through the tough times, then you're just going to get your ass kicked, whoosh, whooped, day in, day out for the rest of your life. So instead of being reactive to a lot of things, try to be proactive to a lot of things. And when I say a lot of things, I mean these challenges. Take a look at them and realize that they are simply a challenge, and don't make it bigger than it needs to be. Don't make your challenge bigger than what it needs to be. Tony Robbins says, see it for what it is, but not worse than it is. So don't make a molehill of a problem, which is something just like a small molehill, into a mountain. Many people do that. I've done that myself. And honestly, a lot of the times it's not even necessary. So if you are going through life and you're taking loss after loss after loss, you're taking L after L after L, success is moving through those challenges with enthusiasm. But this is something that I was thinking about, and that kind of is important and very relevant to the quote that we were talking about earlier. If success consists of going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, many people get stuck in the same problem over and over again, repeat the same mistakes over and over again. And there's no way in my mind that I could be successful, or that anybody could be successful, by simply going through these failures, taking these L's over and over again, specifically regarding the same issue. You cannot be enthusiastic about that. That would drive me crazy. That does drive me crazy. For the longest time, I wanted to share an example regarding my dating life. And the attempt to meet somebody cool. Now, I think this is a problem for a lot of people. And in regards to finding somebody that you can actually get along with and that actually is the appropriate significant other for you in order to have a long-term relationship or even have a short-term relationship. This is kind of crazy, right? And for me, and I feel sorry for the girls because, man, a lot of these times girls are either meeting what I see is girls are meeting some guys who are just like, I guess you would call them losers, but they have the I don't care mentality to where they're able to even go up to the girl, approach them, talk to them, spit some game, and just, do the damn thing. Spit some game and do the damn thing, but don't have any longevity to it. And then, man, that's pretty sad. And then other guys who may have the longevity, say may have a career, say may have something going on for them in terms of like financially or emotionally or physically or whatever it may be, but don't have the confidence in themselves in order to go up and approach and talk and spit some game and do the damn thing. Boom. So this has been one of my hangups. I was not approaching and engaging. And if you're talking about success, in Winston Churchill's quote that we have been talking about throughout this video, going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, man, again, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not getting sick of talking about it because it's very, very important. The ability to go up to a girl, say hi, get her interest, and then move forward is something that is pretty difficult to do for a lot of guys. And for whatever reason, at least in my experience, it's kind of scary going up and talking to a girl that you don't know. And I still feel this today, this anxiety today. If I see a girl, she's cute, I want to go up to her and talk to her, but there's a part of me that is like, no, don't do it. You're going to fail. You're going to be embarrassed. And it's funny to know, and it's important. It is vital to be aware of this, that the brain, part of the brain is the amygdala, a small piece, and it's responsible for our fight or flight or freeze mechanism. Back in the day, when we didn't have tools to defend ourselves against tigers and lions and bears, then our amygdala, if we were to see a threat, our amygdala would kick in and either tell us to do one of those three things: freeze, fight, or flight. I feel like, and many scientists, neurologists, I don't know if it's neurologists, but people who study the brain have mentioned that the brain does not, it's taken a long time to evolve, I guess you can say. We still have a very primal brain. And because of that, now the amygdala, now that we are in modern society and don't have these threats of bears, tigers, and lions, for the most part, our amygdala doesn't differentiate the difference between a freaking bear or just a external threat that your mind perceives as, oh man, this is dangerous. So you either put up some type of fight, you either flight or you freeze. So it's crazy because they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. You will not die. Failure does not equal death. Failure does not equal death. So this is important because again, I'm talking about perseverance. I'm talking about persistence. And I don't know how many numbers I have to get in order to meet somebody cool that is sustainable. Sustainable. Not to say that I'm looking for a sustainable relationship, just in general, right? If you're looking for a sustainable relationship, this is something that is like, okay, first of all, a guy has to go approach a girl or, make some introduction through friends or whatever, but has to click like this pin and get along with one another. So this is a very, very important topic to talk about. So when you're going up and you're trying to meet somebody, how many times do you have to do that in order to meet somebody that's cool? So, maybe you meet somebody, but, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. So you have to meet somebody else and say that doesn't go anywhere. And you have to meet somebody else and say that doesn't go anywhere, let alone the approach, let alone just meeting somebody. So it's kind of crazy. And the experience that I am living in right now, right? So I wanted to share that failure does not equal death. So go up and go ahead and do it in terms of approaching whoever you want to approach. We talked a little bit about authenticity and self-discovery and being normal, expressing the good that you have and also realizing the bad that you have and not being afraid to let that out, because again, you're human, I'm human, you bad, I'm bad, you're good, I'm good. So it's a combination of these things that allow us to just go ahead and move in a direction that is going to improve our lives. And when you add persistence into that, it's one hell of a combination, that persistence and consistency to just fail and fail again without the loss of enthusiasm. But tying in what I was talking about in terms of my dating life, if there's times where, and there have been times where I'm afraid to go talk to a girl and I'm like, all right, am I going to be embarrassed? Is she going to blow me off? I swear 8 or 9 out of 10 times, I'm not embarrassed. I don't get blown off. Matter of fact, things go well. 8 or 9 out of 10 times, I get a number, get her social media, get some dates, and at worst, the worst possible scenario is you simply become friends. And how cool is that if nothing works out, if you don't have the right chemistry or if it's not the right timing? Because timing is very important. So I wanted to share this with y'all, and also to ask and let me know what you think. Is this, I guess specifically, guys, is this something that you experience? And I'm directing this specifically at single guys. Do you ever get shy or feel some type of anxiety when you go up or want to go up and talk to a girl? You do. Don't lie. You do. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just go ahead and do it. And I feel like that's people who are either, for one, just don't really give a fuck and just go do it anyway because they're kind of in a state of, I really don't care. I'm just going to go do it anyway. And then some, I think, and this is probably more the right way to go, is you just go up. Maybe you're afraid anyway, but you go ahead and do it. Or maybe you're relaxed anyway, and maybe you're like, should I go do it? Let's go do it. And you're just being your natural self and move forward with, go ahead and approach, talk, say hi, yada, 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 and then move forward from there. And just trying to be as natural as possible. Man, you're solid. You're good. And then for the girls, man, you're lucky. You're lucky to meet a guy that is able to go up to you and say, hi, my name is so-and-so. What's your name? That's cool. What are you up to? Okay. What are you into? Okay. Let's go. Yeah. And for that time of actually being embarrassed, and this is very important too, because the embarrassment is real. Like, I've went up to a girl, blew me off. Sometimes it's alone, like nobody really sees, and sometimes it's in front of a ton of people, especially if you're like at a club or something, and again they're like, no, I came here just to dance with my girls. Yeah, right, you did not go there to dance with your girls. Don't you lie to me, baby, don't lie to me. You know what I mean? Hilarious. Yeah, so you may have some of those embarrassing moments, but again, the success is going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. And this doesn't only apply to talking to girls or, being in a relationship. This applies to pretty much everything. Say if you're trying to get a job, and you're going to job interview after job interview, and you are not landing, you don't receive any offers. Well, going from interview to interview, you have to make sure you're learning something. If I would have stuck in the same paradigm as I was in regards to approaching girls, because I would not go do it sometimes because I would get afraid and feel that already predict in my head, like, she's going to blow me off. And I'm going to be embarrassed because there's a bunch of people around and they're looking and they're going to laugh at me and they're going to shame me. And then I'm going to go home and cry myself to sleep. No, bro. If I would have stuck in that same paradigm, and time after time again, let these experiences, these possibilities of meeting someone who is cool, pretty, down to earth, and let them just pass by because I'm too afraid to go and approach. If I would have stuck in that same paradigm, I consider that to be a failure. I consider that to be a loss, a big L. Big L, not only for loss, big L for loser. So if I would have stuck in that same paradigm, there's no way that I would have been able to do that over and over and over and over and over again, not learn anything and still keep on doing that. That would have driven me nuts. So what I'm saying is, you have to learn from your losses. You have to learn from your losses. And by learning, you can take that knowledge and apply it to the next situation that is similar to the loss that you took, to the L that you took earlier in your life. And then if you take another L, at least it's in a different way. So you don't want to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's insanity, right? So if you do experience those embarrassing moments, it's okay. You know, one of the beautiful things about life is developing a thick skin and not to be so just fragile when it comes to, getting your feelings hurt or something of this sort. But when you do experience those moments, laugh at them and learn from them. Laugh and learn. And then move forward with the knowledge from that failure, from that loss, and apply it to the next situation that you find yourself in that is a challenging moment. I hope that this message finds you well. Peace.